Two media giants are locked in an unprecedented battle over who gets to tell Ozzy Osbourne's final story first, and the timing couldn't be more controversial. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, Paramount Plus has just announced their feature-length Ozzy Osbourne documentary will hit screens on October 7th, strategically positioning themselves ahead of the BBC's competing project. But here's where it gets controversial. The BBC was forced to completely restructure their release schedule after initially planning a mid-August premiere. The streaming giant's documentary, titled Ozzy, No Escape from Now, will debut simultaneously across the United States and international markets, with Japan being the sole exception. This aggressive global rollout strategy represents a clear challenge to traditional broadcasting approaches, something that's bound to ruffle feathers in the industry. Meanwhile, the BBC has confirmed that their own production, Ozzy Osbourne Coming Home, has been pushed back to October 2nd, just 5 days before Paramount's release. The British broadcaster's decision to delay their originally scheduled mid-August air date has sparked intense speculation about behind-the-scenes negotiations and potential family pressure. But here's the part most people are missing. These aren't just competing documentaries. They're fundamentally different approaches to storytelling that reveal a deeper divide in how we consume celebrity narratives today. The Paramount Plus production, helmed by Bafta-winning director Tania Alexander and created in direct partnership with the Osbourne family, spans an ambitious 2-hour runtime. This extended format allows for an unprecedented deep dive into the most challenging period of the Black Sabbath frontman's legendary career, specifically, the tumultuous final 6 years of his life. What makes this documentary particularly compelling is its all-access family involvement. Ozzy himself appears alongside his wife and longtime manager Sharon, plus all 3 of their children, Amy, Kelly, and Jack. This level of family participation suggests viewers will witness incredibly intimate moments that have never been shared publicly before. The film chronicles a devastating turning point that began in February 2019, when Ozzy suffered a serious fall at his home. This accident triggered a cascade of health complications that would fundamentally alter his life trajectory. The documentary doesn't shy away from these difficult realities. Instead, it uses them as a foundation to explore themes of mortality, resilience, and artistic legacy. And this is where the story gets even more fascinating. Despite his health struggles, Ozzy managed to complete not 1, but 2 final solo albums during this period. The 2020 release Ordinary Man and 2022's Patient No. 9 represent what many consider to be some of his most emotionally powerful work ever recorded. The documentary provides exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of these recording sessions, offering unprecedented insight into his creative process during such a challenging time. One of the most anticipated segments focuses on Ozzy's triumphant homecoming performance at Birmingham during the 2022 Commonwealth Games. For many fans, this appearance represented a miraculous return to form. But the documentary reveals the incredible physical and emotional preparation required to make that moment possible. The film also captures his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a long-overdue recognition that many industry insiders believe should have happened decades earlier. But perhaps most emotionally charged is the coverage of Black Sabbath's farewell concert, Back to the Beginning, held at Birmingham's Villa Park in July. This historic reunion brought together original co-founders Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward for what would become their final performance together. Paramount's documentary features an impressive roster of rock legends sharing their perspectives, including Guns N' Roses members Duff McKagan and Slash, Metallica's Rob Trujillo and James Hetfield, Billy Idol, and Red Hot Chili Peppers' Chad Smith. These testimonials provide crucial context about Ozzy's influence on multiple generations of musicians. According to Paramount's official description, this documentary promises to reveal Ozzy like you've never seen before, emphasizing an honest, warm and deeply personal portrait that examines how his world shuddered to a halt 6 years ago. The film explores his struggle to understand his own identity while confronting his mortality and questioning whether he could ever perform again. A particularly revealing trailer moment shows Ozzy discussing his acceptance of death with surprising tease. "If my life is coming to an end, I really can't complain. I had a great life." This level of vulnerability represents a stark departure from his typical public persona. Interestingly, the documentary highlights how his unexpected 2019 collaboration with Post Malone became a crucial turning point in his recovery. "I had a blast," Ozzy recalls with visible joy. "That was the best medicine I ever had. I'm not good at being sick. I belong up there." This collaboration not only rejuvenated his spirits, but also introduced him to an entirely new generation of fans. Sharon's perspective adds another layer of complexity to the narrative. "He had a brilliant career, and it ended in a brilliant way," she reflects, though her statement takes on profound significance given the subsequent events. The story reaches its emotional climax with Ozzy's death at age 76 on July 22nd, resulting from a heart attack at his home, occurring just weeks after that triumphant farewell show. The timing seems almost poetic, yet heartbreaking for fans who witnessed his apparent recovery. A funeral procession through Birmingham honored his deep connection to the city, followed by a private service where Sharon and their children laid flowers at the Black Sabbath bridge on Broad Street, a symbolic gesture that perfectly encapsulates his enduring legacy. Now here's where the BBC's approach becomes significantly different and potentially more controversial. Their documentary, Ozzy Osbourne, Coming Home, was deliberately delayed out of respect for the family's wishes. A decision announced in August that immediately sparked questions about editorial independence versus family control over narrative. The BBC's one-hour format, airing on BBC One and iPlayer at 9 p.m. BST on October 2nd, focuses specifically on the final 3 years of Ozzy's life. This narrower time frame allows for more concentrated storytelling, but potentially sacrifices the broader context that Paramount's longer format provides. Their approach centers on the dramatic story of Ozzy and Sharon's decision to relocate from Los Angeles back to the UK, a move that Sung Jack worried could be devastating for parents who had barely spent time in their home country over the previous 2 decades. The BBC frames this as exploring close-knit family dynamics under extreme pressure. The BBC describes their film as a moving portrait of a couple whose 5-decade-long relationship has defied the odds at a pivotal moment in their lives. This relationship-focused angle contrasts sharply with Paramount's career-spanning approach, raising questions about which perspective serves the audience better. Their synopsis emphasizes Ozzy's heroic battle to return to the stage one final time, describing remarkable levels of resolve and his determination, blistering honesty, and razor-sharp sense of humor that have endeared him to millions for over 50 years. But here's the question that nobody's asking. Is this documentary competition actually serving Ozzy's legacy, or is it creating unnecessary division among his fan base? Are we witnessing 2 legitimate but different artistic visions? Or is this simply a corporate battle disguised as tribute? The timing of these releases, separated by just 5 days, forces viewers to make choices about which version of Ozzy's story they want to consume first. This creates an artificial scarcity that some critics argue undermines the collaborative spirit that Ozzy himself embodied throughout his career. Moreover, the stark differences in approach raise uncomfortable questions about editorial control and family influence over biographical narratives. Should the family's direct involvement in the Paramount production be seen as ensuring authenticity, or does it potentially compromise journalistic objectivity? What do you think? Does having 2 different documentaries enhance our understanding of Ozzy's complex legacy? Or does it create confusion and unnecessary competition? Should the BBC have maintained their original release date despite family pressure? Or was their respectful delay the right choice? And most controversially, which documentary approach better serves both Ozzy's memory and his fans' desire for truth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Are you planning to watch both documentaries, or does one approach appeal to you more than the other? The debate over how we memorialize our cultural icons has never been more relevant, and your voice matters in this conversation.